Hi everyone, it's Daniela and I'm so glad you're here. I have a tutorial for you today. It's going to be a start to finish tutorial on my how I make my chunky journals. This is just one of 3 signatures and I have a bunch of really pretty ideas for my cover. I've used this paper line before for another album that I sold. I made 2 and I sold them, and this was being discontinued. It's by Bo Bunny. It's the Genevieve collection, and I got all that they had, all the stuff they had, and it was my most requested book, so I bought the stuff what I could, and we're going to make this one together, but just know I have enough to make another in case anybody's interested, because I have other books and stuff to make in the meantime. So what we're doing, I have all the notes. I am going to show you how I make a cereal box cover. It's been probably one of the most asked questions that I've had. I don't know why, but a couple of things about a cereal box. Cereal box is cardboard, and it is one piece, and one piece is always stronger than 3 separate pieces. So I do enjoy using the cereal boxes. I also, of course, use chipboard and Tyvek to keep my seams solid. But when you use the cereal box, and right here I've got 2 pieces of chipboard together. I don't know if I have 3 or 2. These 2 pieces are this thick. You add that to this. Now it's that thick. Oh, but wait, you have to also add this inside cardstock, because all this is cardstock paper, and the outside wrapping. By the time you're done, I actually measured it with a little ruler thing. Oh gosh, heck, I can't remember where I put it. I'll keep looking for it. It's one of those that like slide, and it's actually thicker than a regular chipboard, but that's irrelevant. So I cut my box, and this one has a 3-inch spine, which is awesome. I love a 3. Look at that. That is amazing. A 3-inch spine. I will show you. Can you see that? That's 3 inches. See the 3? And the pages are 5 7/8 wide by 8 7/8 tall. And I do the 7/8 because I need 1/8 of an inch give for all of the cardstock and all the other stuff that goes around, gets put on and all that. So all of these things here, these are for the outside, not decorated. These are for the inside. And this guy is for the outside spine, and he is for the inside spine. Let me move them out of the way, move the box, and this piece is for the inside of the box. I take for the outside, but let me do this part first. So we're going to start by doing this, which you're like, what? And I'll tell you. So this is the hidden spine. I always use a hidden spine. I don't like the sewing to be outside the book. And so I cut the spine to fit inside the book. And the cardboard is a little bit thinner, 2 7/8 by 8 I think it's 3/4 though, because make it a little smaller on the top and bottom. And you have to glue it to the paper. I can't use tape, because then when you poke holes and you sew and everything, then your needle and thread gets sticky. So my first order of business is always wrapping my hidden spine. So I cut a piece of paper, to 6 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at a 1/2 inch, and I scored it in on both sides so that it will overlap, and wrap this up. So what I do is I use my art glitter glue. So carefully just slip it in here. That's another good thing about glue, is that it gives you time to make sure everybody is folded nicely, you have it in the right spot. Beautiful. Then I like to take a little brayer and really give it a good press down. Now we take the glue again and we just put it on all of these parts. Put it on here too. Put it on here. Doodly doodly. Doodly. I haven't done a tutorial in 1,000 years, and I keep promising I'll do one. And you know, I get custom orders, and I have so many cookie things going on all the time, you know. It's just time gets away, and doing a video really isn't that big of a deal. What ends up happening, with me at least, is that I end up making a book or starting to make a book or whatever the case is, and then I'm like, I should have done a video. And so this time I did as much work as I possibly could, wiping that off because I got a little glue on it. Did as much as I could with saving you all of the important stuff. So now this guy gets put aside for, I think I gotta squish it, okay. Put aside for later. There he is. And now we can get to, ta-da! I take 2 pieces of 8 1/2 by 11 Recollections ivory cardstock. That's what this is. I think it's 90 pound. And what I do is I take a 1/2 inch of this tape, double-sided tape. I use score tape, and I guess I have to pull out a little bit more so you can see the whole thing. Good, that should be good. And I put an arrow so I know which way is up, and then I put my book in here and I score all the way around. So this way I know my book is good. The thing I do, the way I do my corners, is that I cut one side straight like that. Let me move this over a little bit just so you can see. Straight, and then I cut the other side. I miter that corner. So this way, I don't know, I think it comes out better. And then I can tuck my corners in and stuff. So what I do is I put a lot of score tape on the box. And then I remove it. And with these corners cut, it really gives me a good, I can really, you know, keep a good eye on if I'm straight or what have you. So what I do is I pull it back with my knife This is the pen blade. I got it at Walmart. Oh my heck, they are. Look, so cool. And this part here is like you can cut your thread with it. That's pretty cool. And look, the lighting is so funky. My hands are a weird color again. Okay, enough about me. I got it. I gotta not be too chit-chatty, and I'm so guilty of it. So I've got to keep my eye on what I'm doing. And I get a little nervous. I'm like, oh, I don't want to hold everybody up. So I like to peel them back, but not peel them all the way off, which then allows me the extra 2 seconds to make sure that I can pull it up if I have to. You know, I'm sitting here now thinking, did I even introduce myself and say welcome to my channel? No, if I didn't, welcome or welcome back. You know, I always love having you here. Which side do I want? This one. Stop it. Peel them all back. I should have just peeled them off. I'll probably, oh, I do. I peel the rest of them off because once this one's in place, the rest of it just lays down. So that's pretty cool. Maybe, look, I'm poking myself in the face. What am I doing? I didn't really poke myself in the face, but I'm trying to not be a maniac. So what I do, that's why I keep all the pieces like this, because I am looking down here. I should open it. It's so hard to show this. Okay. I pulled them back the way I did. So this way, these 2 corners can go down in exactly the right spots. Try and make sure my head doesn't get in the video. Not sure if it's perfect. I think it's good. Oh, this is the worst part for me. I get so, oh. I know it's perfectly fine, but I can't. The pressure of putting it down. I try to be so careful now. I'm lining up the other side, so this way I can be like, okay, now I am certain that we are in the right spot. Feeling good about that. Pull you out. You guys. Awesome. And now you, and you. Pull it straight out. And we have one more piece. Where'd you go? Yep. This guy, right? It's never perfect when it's live. I know. That's just how it is, everyone. There you go. And now, when I let go of all the other tape, everybody will be exactly where it should be. have little teeny marks down here where this bump is because I like to cut that so that it cut it out from the side so it doesn't get bunched up. Right now I'm cutting this piece, like I said, this little sliver here. And I will do all the other ones now. It's right up to the bump, right there, and I won't have any resistance on this side, and that's exactly what I wanted, although this is a little bit off. Let me just cut a little bit more. Got a little crooked. Perfect. Perfect. So, when I glue everybody down, remove the rest of the tape. As you see, you have a nice size book, and then these other pieces get put on. This guy will be down, he will be over, and then this guy gets put right on top. Perfect and awesome. Let me, I guess, keep cutting and then put it together. I am just taking so long. I'm afraid you're all going to kill me. But this is how long it takes. You didn't even get to the inside. I don't know which way you guys would rather have it. Or I do this, or a piece at a time. I'm not sure. Let's roll. I feel like cutting these little cuts between the spine and the covers also allows for it to move better, so it doesn't want to rip or anything. So pretty. Perfect, perfect. Really? Thank you. Get out. Okay. Yep. There we go. So, and this is the front and the back. And let me see which one of you is which. I should be able to tell by the pictures. Oh gosh, I really can't. Which one do I like better? For the front and the back. I guess this one looks nice for the first one. Yeah. So these pieces for the front and the back cover, I've measured them to be 1/4 of an inch smaller on both sides, both the top and the sides, so that it should leave a nice eighth of an inch border all the way around. Nice, good, excellent. Here we will put a piece, and I'll put this piece back here. I'm not going to waste your time with that right now. Let me see, look how nice. No ripping, no tearing, no any of that. And this guy would be for my front cover. I will just peel off the tape and stick him on there. And then I have the inside cover for this, the other side for here, this guy for my spine, and this one for the back. So I'm going to do all of those off camera because I've had you for almost a half hour, but that's a completed cover, and we'll be moving on to the signatures in a little bit. Okay, thank you. See you in a second. Our cover is all done. We did most of it together, if you remember, but now I layered all the papers and the paper, more paper, and like I had shown before, spine is all nice and no tears, and on the inside we're also all covered, so this guy is ready to go. Awesome. And oops, I just dropped something. That would have been bad. So, signatures. I'm just going to show you what a signature is and what I do when it comes to certain things. Then we're going to sew the first signature into our hidden spine, and I'll talk about the rest from there. But I think I'm going to zoom in just for a minute, and then I will zoom back out. So this is not the paper for the book, but making a point, if you see, these papers are longer than the than the signature. The signature is just a group of papers that you put together, and then you sew them into your spine of your book, whatever method you use or whatever. I don't like my papers to stick out from my outside of my signature. The more paper you add, the thicker the center becomes, and then the more it sticks out, even though they're all cut to the exact same size. Now, if you can see, I'll make sure you can see, there is one piece of paper right here that you can't see sticking out. I've only got 5 pages in here just to make the point. And here's the second one though, but now he is barely fitting in there. But I would say that's pretty successful. And now here's the third page. And you can see, no, that's sticking out. And then what's worse is what happens after that is that the last 2 pages are even sticking out from there. What I do one of 2 things. I either every few pages cut off a 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch and just do that for the whole book, or you can take a pencil and measure, trying to make sure you see where to cut it off with your pencil. Make a little pencil line there. I don't know if you can see the pen. There it is, yeah. And then you cut it from there and you cut it off. And then once that one's done, you move on to the next and the next. And then you'll have a great signature where all the pages are nice and even and it looks lovely. So here, because we're here, move this guy out. I don't think you'll be able to see anyway. And if I was to measure this, it is more than a 1/16, less than an 1/8. I know, I mean, I'd have to, I don't know if you'd be able to see anything if I go in much further. See my hand. Can you see? Look at the line. So I put it in this little trimmer here. I use a much bigger trimmer when I'm, you know, really making my books, but for ease I use a huge Fiskars rotary trimmer. It cuts through chipboard and everything else board. So now we put this guy back in here. I like to smack it down a little bit, and you can see, you can't see anything. I have 2 sheets of paper left. If I put them back in, you can see that they do stick out. So just to measure, it's about the same amount. The one sticks out more than the other. And you would just do the same thing. Either way you do it, either doing it just to heck with it, a 1/16 of an inch at a time, that's great, or doing it, I'm zooming back out again, or doing it like I just did with the pencil line. The point is, you want your signatures to look really nice and as professional as non-professional bookmakers can be, you know. So I always take the time to make certain that all of my pages match up very nicely in my books. Now this guy here is the signature that we are going to sew in. Very, very, very exciting. Now I cannot show you this signature, right? This I'm just making sure everybody's even. Right this minute, I have so many paper clips and all sorts of stuff in here to make sure everybody stays nice, that when we're done, and I take them all out, then I will show you all the pages. My pages vary in staggering heights, and that's how I like it. I just think that looks the best that way. I like making things fun. See, you can see here, this guy is shorter than this guy, and this guy is taller than this one, so I like it like that. So you make sure all your people or all your papers are all nice and straight and yummy. And then what I do is I fold a piece of graph paper because it's just so much easier this way. I don't want to be messing around with trying to figure out everything in inches. And I take my graph paper and I measure with the Tim Holtz ruler. It's got the middle. Sorry, got the middle so I can find the center. And I cut the paper, and then I find the center, and from there I count. I keep the 1/4 of an inch because each square is a 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom and down from the top. I count how many there are in between, and then I put a hole in the middle. Same here, unless in the case of this book I wanted to make sure that my center envelope was going to be in a good spot for both sides. And I don't know if you could see the little dots. I know you can't. But if I line this up from the bottom to the top, here's the center. And this one would have been too far. They wouldn't have been more like central. Just the way things work out sometimes, you know. So I, making an executive decision, decided to move that bottom one. But you can make 3 holes, you can make 5, you can make however many you want, however many signatures, however many, anything you want. And then here's the hidden spine. What I did was measured up from the bottom and down from the top to where the signature is going to be. This is the height of the book, and my signature is taller, but where it's going to get sewn. So I measure the width, and I divide it in 3, the center of that, and then equal amounts in each section. I think it's a half, a half, a half, a half, something like that. That almost doesn't sound right. Maybe 3/4, because it's a 3-inch spine. Anyway, and I measure down, and I just put, because everything isn't always perfect, I just put the lines of this up against here, and then I do all my measuring, and there you go. And then I make a grid, and then I will erase. So the next thing we need to do is poke the holes. I have this, where did it go? Here, I mean, I know exactly, it's right here. This foam mat with all of these holes because I use it all the time. But I also find that sometimes it's better to kind of push it through sideways. That's the only way I can put it. I'm going to undo this clip here. Make sure everybody is good, and then put my clip back in so that I know that my paper is even. Now this book, the top is taller than the rest of the book, 2 of the signatures. And I did that by design, and I think it's cool, and that's the way it is. So that's why I did that. It's the choices we get to make. It's our vision that we're putting into this. And you can poke straight through. I have a little awl that I used, but before I found that guy, it just gives me a little better grip. I just used to use a regular old paper piercer. It's all the same. You can go straight through. But I like to err on the side of caution, and I really like to see that it's on the spine, because sometimes when I push it straight through, it's not, it kind of gets off center, and I don't want that. So I'm just pushing my center, and I'm going to put my awl on the center hole, and see, center hole, awl, and I like to push through and push it through the sideways is what I'm getting at. Yay. Ah, there it is. And you see, and then I like it to come out really, you're not seeing anything. It's right here. I like it to be really nice on that spine. And then I push it through a little more because I want to make sure the hole is a good enough size for my needle to get through, which is here. We'll talk about that in a second. So push it through a little bit more. Good. Then I pull it back out. Now I go to the top hole, and I close my book, and I push through here, and it came out. You can see, I'm going to push it out a little bit more anyway. Right there. Yummy. And we go to the middle, not the middle, the in between the top and the center here. And the same. These ones are like the hardest ones. Ah, excellent. Because it always seems like there's the most paper in those areas. And we did the center. Now we're going to go to this guy here. Hold them nice. Push the awl through sideways. And this guy here feels like he's got a billion pages. Sometimes this areas easiest are the top and the bottom. So there's him. And last is this bottom guy here. No, you can't see that. Bottom guy, here he is. And hold and push, and he should not be too hard. Am I going to jinx myself now by saying that? No. I know you're not exactly seeing it all go through, but he's, oh, there he is. Right there. Perfect. Let's see, push him in more there. Right there. So, this portion is done. And now I need my paper so that I can do the same to the spine. And to open him up, and then check, and you can do it that way. Or the reason I went and did all of this math is so I don't have to do that. I know that in each of these points that intersect, that's where I poke a hole. So, number 1, next, number 2, next, number 3, next. Do it all the way down. And if you get off on one of them, I'll check at the end. Just make the hole a little bigger, you know, just, but what I mean by that is, you know, put your awl in and wiggle it around. I tried to do one up there. It was a little off so I could show you, but from the area I'm in right now, let's switch this upside down so you can see. I can't exactly tell. So, 1, 2, 3, and lastly here, these guys, the bottom. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So let me look first. I think they all look dynamite. Love how they're looking. Everybody's looking great. But this guy here, do you see how he's a little off? A little, not exact. He's got not really enough on the hairs. It's slightly off. I would just put my awl in and wiggle it a little bit more. It makes the hole a little bit bigger and it becomes a little bit more forgiving. And by the time you weave through all these holes and you tie it and knot it and all of that, no one will ever know. So it's fine. Let's get ready to sew. I use waxed linen thread when binding my books. I have this one, I have this one, and you can even use dental floss, I mean, if you want. I'm not sure if it's as strong, but it's pretty good. And these are my needles. I also have a circle hook needle. It's not in here because, well, it wouldn't fit. And I have them in all different sizes. So I try to match it with the width of whatever I'm using to poke holes. And keep them all in this little tube, the test tube kind of thing. All different lengths and widths. So I start in the middle of the book. I am gonna have to zoom out so this way you can see. I wanted to stay zoomed in, but I don't think I can both sew and pay attention to if I'm in frame, you know. So this is the middle. So I know, I'm pretty sure that, you know, I put a camera on, so now it'll never find its way out because that would make everything too easy. And that's just not how stuff goes, right? It's terrible. I hate to sound like a pessimist, but seriously, you know. So when this happens, you just take your time and straighten everybody up and go through a couple pages at a time. There's no fire, right? There's no time limit. You just do your best. Keep going one hole at a time, and you will make it. And so once I get this guy all sewed in, then as I take out the paper clips, I will show you the book and what I did. So there we go. Now this guy is going to be the third signature. There's my arrow up, just so I know where I am. And now it comes out through there. And pull, and you know what? I didn't, as eraser. I'm just going to erase some of these lines from over here from this last section because I do not want to hold you up while I erase lines. But I want to make sure I get them while I can. That's the cool thing about pencils. You can erase. When you can't with a pen. I guess there are erasable pens, but what I'm trying to say is that, you know, if you're using certain kinds of colors of paper, there are times when I've said, I really want to use a marker so I could see it better, but then you don't want it to show later. So, okay. So sorry I didn't do that in the first place. Okay, let me get back here. Third guy, right, that's where we were. Third, okay, now I am pulling because when I get the thread through, what's up, thread? I just want to clip it to the clamp I have over there. There it is, that guy. I just don't want it to escape, even though, let's all be real, who wants to bet it's going to escape on me anyway? I'll take a little bit of washi tape, put it on my hand so it's not quite as sticky, and tape that on there just to be safe. Take my needle, come back here again, and go up, no, go here, the next one up, and up through this hole. Okay. I also like to keep a pair of pliers because sometimes when it gets thick, the book gets thick, I'll grab some pliers so I can pull it through with less cookie madness. And will go out here, the top. Out. Yay. Out through this guy. Pull. Everybody good? Everybody good? Yep. Okay. Now I go all the way to the bottom. And I go back in through the bottom. And now you'll see we are going to end up going back up through the middle again. Okay, and there we go. And pull, remove your needle, remove the washi, over there, and the clip. Now, when you are tightening your thread, you want to pull up. You don't want to pull sideways, because then you can rip your paper, and that would not be good. And all we do now is tie a knot and a bow, and then you can, because it's wax, you can take a match and blow it out, you don't want to use actual fire, but the hot tip of it is hot enough that it can melt the wax a little bit, just to make sure that it's secure. Although by the time I'm finished knotting and double knotting and double bowing and all of that, I'm fairly certain that everything is fine. And that's the way I do it. So let me get these paper clips out, show you the fun stuff that is in this signature. I will double knot that as well, but for now, right, it's the third signature, not the first. Let me zoom out just a little bit so that you can pretty much, okay, see the whole thing. It's much taller, like I had told you. As you can see, it comes up over, oh, okay, it comes up over the top of the spine. And remove these paper clips. So we start with, I paper punched this paper. I couldn't get the 6x6 pad, so I cut one 12 by 12 into 4s. It was a cut apart sheet, so it was perfect. And then we have, this was 12 by 12, and I used this. Well, this is obviously not the exact one, but I used this punch on the top. So this is a good 1/2 inch of paper that is off the 12 by 12, and whatever was left I folded underneath and cut it on a diagonal down here at the bottom, and added what I call a topper and a multi-layered gold glitter flower. And then this is just regular tracing paper, and I put this pretty washi with birds and bird cages. And then this is just some paper with handwriting. This is a little tab and stamped flower, gold vellum, so pretty. And here I have a 3D chipboard piece that says Dream, and handmade embellishments, and a belly band that I paper punched both edges in gold matte foily paper. And then here, this guy flips up, and it's a doily, and here is a pretty botanical print from a book I found at the thrift shop, and planner paper, white cardstock that I stamped. This is a tuck spot, tuck, and a flower, and more of the washi graph paper, all the paper tea dyed, but I think I said that already. And then more stamping, more lace, side pockets with really pretty flowers and leftover cutoffs or die cut pieces like I showed you here from the top die. Lined paper, gold doily book paper, writing paper, stamps, stamps and washi, another tuck, another, this is a address book, doily, ledger paper kind of thing. And this, I used a die that's from Crafter's Companion. And can you see they're birds? They're two little birds. Aren't they cute? Whoa, fix that guy, right? Can you see them? Let me bring you in closer. There they are. Aren't they cute? I die cut that on both sides. And this is the envelope where the bow is. And here is the other side and the other birds. Again, stamped and doily address paper. This is a flip up. And little handmade embellishments. And more. This is like children's writing paper. Book paper, doily. Oh, yeah. Lined paper, another side pocket, more lace. Writing, graph, paper, calendar, a corner tuck with a bow and stamping. The other side of the botanical paper, doily, this guy flips up. You undo this, you have a pocket, that's a pocket, that's a pocket, that's a pocket. Flip down. Back side, vellum. Another little tab on the other side of this writing paper, tracing paper, the other side with of the page with the pocket and the topper, and that is it. So I am going to sew in the other two, and then we're going to attach this to our cover, and I will see you in a minute. Now we are going to put our very pretty sewn signatures into here. I changed the resolution on my camera, so it keeps pulling you way out, but I need you this close. I can't put you too close because this is just the setup I have. So anyway, just to show you, all three signatures are put in. Here's the one that we did right here. Here. It's in there. And I sewed in the other two. And now we're going to put that signature bunch into our completed cover. It doesn't have the trim or anything on the side yet. It doesn't have the decorations. I might do something on the inside covers. I'm not sure, but that's for later. But I did put an eyelet in the center of the top and the back for a tie closure with seam binding. And I used a washer. I don't know if you can see that. Ah, maybe there. Anyway, so now let me forgot to get the clamps and grab some of them so that we can glue this in, and that will be that. The book will be completely constructed, ready to just Do a little more decorating and it'll be awesome. Okay, I personally still use art glitter glue. Like I told you, dries clear, no glitter in it, but it's an excellent permanent adhesive and I really like it. I'm going to apply glue all over the back of the fake spine piece. And then lay it in the actual spine. See, this is hard because I can't, no, unless it doesn't really need to be seen any more close up than this. I don't know, but let's begin the glue. Okay, all nice and filled with glue. Now we flip it over and place it right smack in the middle here. If I was to go in any closer, you wouldn't see the whole thing. So let me move it again. Glue gives you more working time, so you're able to move and do stuff, which is awesome. Let me spin, take a look over here. Perfect. A little bit more over. Make sure we are actually perfect. Can you see? I guess I'm going a little closer right now. Perfectly lined up. Perfect. Perfect. Go in the middle. Rub with my finger. The reason I have these two Target cups out is because I usually use them as weight on the sides here, like this, to make sure that stays like that. And sometimes I even use clamps, but this is sitting so nicely, I really don't want to clamp it. So now we just leave it for a very, very, very long time. Put my pin back in my glue. Pull glue off of there. Put the pin back in the glue, and we just let it sit let it stick and all of that. And when it's dry, we will do the cover. See you in a few. Now for the cover. Get this book finally finished. While you were gone, I added this lace to both inside, no, both, yes, both inside covers, the front and the back. So it would be a nice transition between the cover and the spine. I'll probably put a library pocket or something in there. I added lace to the spine. This little lace is the lace that's inside. And this pretty lace, I did not do it on camera because it's gluing it was really long, you know, to get it glued, and I didn't want to make this so long. I put a little button to cover. I loop seam binding through, and we're gonna, I still have a paper clip here from when I was binding the book. Anyway, we're going to start with putting the seam binding through the hole. I will add the button or whatever I put. I will add that later, but all I do is fold it in half and then fold it again and take something and poke it through, making sure I am in frame. Thank goodness I am. Pull it out, loop it, and glue it. I always do it inside out. Of course, you could do it the other way as well. Doesn't really matter. I feel like this makes it a little flatter, so I can put a nice button or pretty on it. I feel like I'm far away, but if I get any closer, you won't get the whole book. So hopefully you can see just fine. I always take a little bit of this glue and I stick it underneath into the loop just to make sure that it will not come out. And then I do the same. I know it's hard to see, but I do it in here as well. And always, to be safe, I like to add a piece of wax paper, because if it's going to stick to something, better that. Like I said, I will be adding the little pretty over it later. So I'm going to glue this piece of the Noteworthy on the cover. I think it's super cute. Now we lay it down as close to being in the middle as we can. Sorry, I'm going to have to bring it to me or put my head in front of you. Okay, I think that's good. Cross my fingers. So here we go. As always, I go over it with this cloth because if any glue should seep out, then I can catch it as opposed to a bone folder. Okay, that's done. I put all the bits of things I would be using into this little cup. And these guys, and you, and you, and you. So I put them all in here so I can kind of keep them all together. Okay, so next I am going to be adding at least one of those because I also have a gold one. And then I thought about adding two, and then I thought, so I'm trying to put it so it's both in and out of the birdcage, which was super easy when I tried it out yesterday. And today it's being a pain. So, yeah, something like that, right? I think that's cute. And we will be adding this bird right there and have this little one of these because those two are fake, you know, they're just part of the print. But then I also have this that I thought would look really nice behind here. I like layering things. It's kind of what I do. And also I have these guys. I had metal corners, of course. I just didn't, I don't know, I just thought that these little corners were so pretty. And grab another one. Which one is more poked? Right here. And I have a little bird. This guy, I was going to put him over here with him because he's super cute. And then I was going to hang a tag with a bow out of the bird cage and put this bow on the top. And that was going to be my finished product. I don't know, this guy needs to move down a little bit. This was layered like that. But then I also had this flourish. I didn't know if I should use gold and white. I have all the gold in the cage. I think that's probably good. And then what I also then do is add little bits and pieces of things like that stuck, like little diamonds all around. And I also have a bunch of these really nice dark blue pearls. And I also have this case full of little bits and pieces and cameos and feathers and flowers, and so then I like to stick some of those around. So what I'm going to do is start adding this stuff. Okay, so that much is done. Now I'm going to add a ribbon to this tag, make a pretty bow, right? And then from there, we will, well, add, see, I'm going to run this through the whole, I'm going to pull out some flowers, and then I will glue them on, and fast forward, and then that will be our book finished. Like that, where's my, kind of move a little bit, get a little flatter. I always use a nice big clamp so I can get a really good grip. Clamp it down. Well, leave it. That's that. There are my tweezers. Of course, they're at the very bottom of the pile. And what I do usually is I'm going to make a little glue like thing, because I want to make sure I show you the right way to do things, not the wrong. I just put like a little blob of glue on my table, and then I throw it at myself, and then I dip it in so that this way, even though they're self-adhesive, I want them to stick better than that, and it dries clear, so I don't have to worry about it showing. So I take them off. I know you almost can't really see it, but I'm running out of room, and I have to be close enough to get this stupid rhinestone off, which of course now it's being a pain, but you all knew that was going to happen. And I dip it in here, and I put one on the butterfly, of course. Open my tweezers. What I usually actually use is a pencil eraser to push it down. And, oh, I gotta get out my pearls because I definitely know a couple places I want to put them. I wonder if I should put one of those on. Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. Let me put one of the little ones on each bird's eye. Might be a little bit too big for the little bird, but the other two, I have to like finagle to get it off of the stupid backing because it's, you know, it's sticky. So I have to slide it, or what will happen is that I will accidentally fling it and never find it again. Put one here. His eye. Open the tweezer. Take my pencil. Take you. Dip, dip, dip. Take one more for the other big bird. Mm-hmm. And whoops, press him down and pop up any extra glue. And then let's take a couple of them, put a little bit more glue here. Oh, that's right. These are on like a strand of pearls, which is a pain. So I want to put one of these in the center of the flower in the corner. Of course, it's stuck. Okay, move, move, move. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now stay. Awesome. And let's get the next one. Stick him down. Cut this piece of adhesive off. That's what I am doing. Sorry, I was not in frame, but I couldn't cut it. Heck. No. You know, I just bought one of those sticky things for just this reason. Like it's like a stick, and it's got mild stickiness on it, so that you can pick little things up and stuff. Have you heard of that? So I thought it seemed cool. Put one of these here. I like to just randomly put pearls and stuff all around. And I usually like to work in odd numbers. One, and oh look, it's over here now. Yeah, move, thank you. A little more, come on. There you go. Now I can add another diamond to it. Get glue on him. Add this diamond right here. Move back, diamonds. Move it back. Good. It's very nice of you. And I'm going to add another pearl. Just one lone little pearl. Let's do this. Yeah, help. Okay. Blue diamonds. No, blue pearl. And at least for the moment, now add a medium diamond next to it. And then that will be this, it will be that, will be done. And this book is finished. There you go. What, might I add a few more flowers? Of course. Might I add more diamonds? Perhaps. But at least for the moment, this book is done. This tutorial is done. I hope you found it mildly entertaining, definitely helpful and instructional, and I cannot wait to see what wonderful books you guys make. Remember, I'm going to do a separate video of the flip through of the book, and I hope you'll check that one out too, and stay tuned for my next tutorial. I want to start doing shorter and smaller, maybe just as long for all I know, tutorials on like techniques or showing stuff or something like that, instead of something as big as a book. If there's anything you'd like me to do a tutorial on, I'd love to hear your ideas. And thank you so much for watching. Please leave me a comment, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.